see you from behind.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For everyone that's new here, hi, my name is Maria and I dive into the paranormal, my experiences with it, scary stories, conspiracy theories, and eventually we'll be going on adventures to some of the most haunted places in history. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Today's case, for anyone that is not into true crime or is easily bothered by it, is a rather disturbing, sad, and heartbreaking suicide case. Have you guys ever heard about Cotard syndrome, also known as the walking corpse syndrome? This syndrome is really rare. There's only about 200 known cases, and although it's really extreme, it is curable with treatment. Now, before we get into how people are cured, let me explain what this is. Cotard syndrome is a mental disorder in which people believe that they are walking corpses. Yes, they believe that their organs don't function anymore, that their hearts stop, and that their blood has coagulated. Now, how is this treated? There's a few things that can help. One of them is psychotherapy, which in my honest opinion is one of the best forms of helping people who suffer from such state. Though I'm not saying that it always helps, because in some cases it doesn't, but I feel that it helps the patient work through it. Another form of treatment is the use of anti-anxiety drugs and antidepressants, because in all of these cases people who have Cotards also have depression, but even then the use of these tactics aren't 100% effective. And so there comes the last treatment, which is used in case of everything else failing, and it is called Electrocompulsive Therapy. This is basically a brain stimulation procedure in which a doctor passes electric current through the patient's brain in order to help them relieve some of the symptoms that they may have. I was actually really surprised upon further research because I found out that this is a life-saving treatment. Yeah, it's amazing how technology has really advanced. I sometimes sit and wonder about how everything is gonna play out regarding the future with technology in our bodies. Like, how are they gonna fix diseases? Do you guys think that eventually they're gonna be able to alter our DNA in order to make us strong and healthy individuals? That's interesting, right? Now that I got you guys thinking, I apologize, but it's time to move on to today's case. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but Per Yngve Olin, also known as Dead Olin, was and is known for his crazy vocals in the band Mayhem. And not only that, but all the crazy things he'd do on stage. Before Dead became the famous rock vocalist that he was in his time, he was born back in Sweden in January 16, 1969, to parents who eventually divorced, and because of this, Dead was going back and forth, changing schools a lot. Could you guys imagine just how traumatizing that was already? Not having a stable family, losing the little friends he'd make, and feeling lonely? For a young child, that must be really traumatizing. Not only would he deal with that, but he was also being bullied. And one day he was brutally beaten at school, and when he got home, he collapsed due to having his spleen ruptured. I just don't understand why the teachers didn't do anything to stop that. Like, it angers me. And you guys will be angry too as this goes on. But due to his spleen rupturing, he had to have immediate surgery, and during his surgery, he was pronounced clinically dead, but was soon revived. It was soon after this that Dead began suffering from depression and Cotard syndrome. He became obsessed with death itself and the feeling of it. In early 1988, he joined the band Mayhem, and his life took a spiral. All the members of Mayhem moved in together, and they soon realized that they couldn't have an actual conversation with Dead. He wasn't the talkative type. He was rather reserved and quiet. But when he did talk, he'd talk about his obsession with death. More than often, he would bury his clothes before a concert to make himself look like a corpse. But the most bizarre thing of this all was that he would keep dead crows under his bed in order to sniff them before he went on stage. Eventually, this got to the point of him harming himself in front of his audience, and to me, this would have been a cry for help. Many people witnessed, but no one did anything to help, which probably could have been because they thought it was part of the show. On one of his performances, not only did he throw pig's head and raw meat at his fans, but he also badly harmed himself, in front of them, which caused them to go to the restroom in order to put tape on his wrists. By the beginning of 1991, Ded became more and more depressed. It's said that he'd often just sit in his room writing letters and drawing. We can all agree that some things just get out of hand when we share a house with a lot of people. We don't always agree on certain things or get tired of each other at times, but for Ded and his bandmate Euronymous, it was bad. They were always arguing due to the fact that Euronymous was loud and he would always make parties, and Ded wanting quietness. One fateful night in April 8th, 1991, Ded was left alone as all his bandmates left for the night. He decided to write a suicide note, which of course the original is in a different language, but thankfully a Reddit user translated it. And I'm gonna read it to you guys, but give me just a second. I wrote it down because it's rather long. It reads, "Excuse the blood, but I have slit my wrists and neck. It was the intention that I would die in the woods, so that it would take a few days before I was possibly found. I belong in the woods and always done so. No one will understand the reason for this anyway. To give some semblance of an explanation, I'm not a human. This is just a dream and soon I will awake. It was too cold and the blood was coagulating all the time. Plus my new knife is too dull. If I don't succeed dying to the knife, I will blow out my skull. Yet I do not know. I left all my lyrics and the rest of the money. Whoever finds it, keeps it." He also wrote some last lyrics which he titled Life Eternal, and they read, "I dream of another existence, you wish to die. I dream of another world, you pray for death. To release the soul, one must die. To find peace inside, you must get eternal. I am mortal, but am I human? How beautiful life is now when my time has come. A human destiny, but nothing human inside. What will be left of me when I'm dead? There was nothing when I lived. What you found was eternal death. No one will ever miss you." A few hours after Ded took on his own life, his bandmate Euronymous found him. Yes, that same guy that he kept arguing with found him. And instead of calling for help, he did the worst imaginable. He betrayed a person he spent 3 years with. I would have thought that by then he would have cared at least a little bit. But sadly he didn't. He took pictures of Ded's deceased body and decided to have it as a cover of one of Mayhem's albums, which I will not be showing here due to its graphic nature, but if you guys want to take a look, I'm not saying you can't, but I must say that it's not for the faint of heart. It is really sad and I would not suggest it. Not only did he basically strip him from his dignity after his death, but Euronymous also decided to take part of his brain and skull and give it away to bands that excelled his expectations. And on November 2018, a piece of his skull was sold for $3,500. Euronymous did eventually get his payback, and it was a really bad one. I am actually not surprised. As I always say, karma is, y'all can imagine, but I am not gonna get into what happened to him because he is not important here. But in all honesty, I believe that all Ded wanted was some companionship. He wanted someone to be there, to truly care. He wanted peace, but sadly he didn't get that in this lifetime. I wish he would have gotten the help he needed and that everything would have been different, because no one deserves to go through such trauma. But sadly, nothing was done. Honestly, this case really got to me. It left me shattered and feeling helpless. I feel that nowadays we have much more resources that could help a person and save lives, but as people we should all look after one another. That's what the world needs to heal. For us to be there for one another, help one another, support one another, and help uplift one another. I hope all of you guys are doing okay, and if there's anything I can do, if you guys need to talk, if you guys need any help, please let me know. I don't want you guys to ever feel alone or have to go through anything alone. My DMs are always open to you guys. I will link my social medias down below. I hope you all stay safe. I'm sending you all my positive energy, my positive thoughts. Happy New Year's, and I hope you guys have a wonderful morning, evening, or night. Until next time, I love you guys.